And what's up, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Talking NASCAR podcast. This is episode number 32, and one that is very, very, very been much anticipated because we're back with this guy who is fresh back from Bristol on no sleep,
Yeah,
apparently.
when we mean fresh, when the race was over, we came back. So
And he has not slept at all, apparently.
sleep.
Not a smart decision if I say so myself, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You made it back in one piece, that's all that matters. Yeah, we're recording this the day after the race, Monday. We usually record Thursday to upload Friday. We're changing it up a little bit. So there's not much news topics to talk about. One big one that did come out today, we'll talk about that. There was another one that came out yesterday. Other than, of course, we're going to talk about the truck and cut Bristol Dirt. Hitmaster, he's going to be doing a lot of talking in this episode. He's going to be talking about his experience, what he got, what he saw, what he did. Everything was a huge, huge thing. And then, of course, at the end, preview another short track race, Martinsville. So,
Which is not that far away from Bristol.
it is not. They've been staying pretty local recently. They went to Richmond, Bristol, and now Martinsville. So, look at it going. Then they're going to Talladega the week after that, so it's not super far away either. But yeah, I guess I will leave it to you.
All right. So first, let me just take off this hat and bring in my southern cap.
Wait, did you get that at the race? Did you have that?
Yeah, I bought it at the race. It was only for $15, so I was like, you know what? I'm in the southern. Why the fuck not?
There you go.
First, we're gonna start off with something cool. Um, it's a license plate, but it's a Ryan Priest license plate, but it's not any normal Ryan Priest license plate.
Oh
It
shit, you
is
got
signed.
wow, you got an autograph. That's cool.
Now, I was thinking, should I get an auto? Because he was doing autographs at like 3:30. I was like, should I wait until to buy something so that he can sign it? And the guy goes, there's a $5 license plate thing that's signed by him. And I'm like, all right, sure, I'll do that then. I still got to talk with him, and I didn't get a picture with him, which I should have. But I mean, still, it was beautiful. The track was beautiful. I mean,
What did I tell you?
everything that you said when you first see it, heart immediately gets excited. Just my breath just got taken away, and it was beautiful. Um, got this pin, the
Oh,
Food City
nice.
pin. I wore it on my hat, but I took it off for this occasion. Then, if you guys are in the Discord, you notice that I have got 17 poker chips. And why, I don't know, but might as well tell you the drivers. So I got Kyle Busch. I got Noah Gragson. I was going to say Ty Dillon.
Funny.
Bubba Wallace, which everyone booed him, which figured as much. We got Brad Keselowski, poker chip. And then we just got a Legacy Motorsport. I just decided why not get a Legacy Motorsport. Because fuck all. Harrison Burton had to get a Woods brother. And then I got 3 of the Penske drivers, which is Blaney, Logano, and Cindric. And then I've got 2 of the 4 Stewart-Haas, which would be Chase Briscoe, Kevin Harvick. Shut up, ESPN. And then I've got 3 of the Hendrick. Sucks. I know. I'm wearing the Chase Elliott stuff. I didn't get a Chase Elliott poker chip. really wanted to. I really regret it, but I could just get that at Michigan. Got Bowman, Byron, and Larson. And then I've got all 4 Joe Gibbs, which is very odd because I was like to my friends, I go, you know what? For my pick to win the race, I'm going to choose these poker chips. So I randomly do it in the poker chip. What are the odds?
You picked Christopher Bell. That's funny.
And I'm just like, yes, win, please. It works.
All right, we're going to introduce a new tradition here on the podcast. You're going to take those poker chips. Every time we do a race preview, you're going to shake them up and you're going to pick that. You're going to make your race pick from those. That's going to be That's going to be your new tradition.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I actually wanted to do that. I was like, you know what? Why don't we try that? Oh yeah. Okay, that a NASCAR thing popped up. So we went to Ohio, and we're like, okay, what should we do real quick in Ohio? Because you know the meme, swag in Ohio. So what did we decide to do? Decided to go to a Waffle House. The best. I love Waffle House now.
Was your first Waffle House experience?
It was my first Waffle House experience. Yes.
Let's see. Let me guess. What'd you get? Did you get pancakes?
No, actually.
Waffles.
I didn't get waffles or pancakes. Actually, I just got scrambled eggs and hash browns and just.
You haven't had the full Waffle House experience. We don't get a waffle.
Yeah, I regretted it after we left. I was like, I should have bought a waffle now.
You'll be back. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, we're planning on instead of doing, what was it? Instead of doing one of the races that we were gonna do, we want to go to the concrete Bristol, and this time fly because for some odd reason I don't know why we didn't fly the first time, but fly this time.
Okay.
And then what I think was cool, I don't know if you saw when you were down there, but the Earnhardt and Petty.
You know what? They were showing that on TV. That's in the actual town of Bristol, not the track. So we didn't go into the actual town of Bristol. So no, I didn't get to see that. But that's a cool little mural thing.
And then you have the countdown to Bristol.
Oh, that's nice. I like that too.
The guitar. Of course, I know you could probably see one of my friends side, but I got a little bit of the shopping cart.
The motorized shopping cart. Did you see it at the track, or was it only at the?
It was on the side, so I didn't see it there because our seats were like right where we parked, actually, which was very good because we could just walk straight to our car and not have to walk 5 miles. But of course, when I saw that, I don't know if you can see it good, but once I saw that, I knew that this was going to be good.
Heaven.
I mean, they brought out the trucks. I got a picture of the Bristol baby
Beauty
sign, which I just noticed. If I look closely at the R, if you look closely at the R,
I got Alan Kowicki peeping in through the R there. That's pretty funny.
And then, of course, I did the NASCAR 75 anniversary.
Oh, that's cool.
One. I think it was cool, yeah. I did the Tyler Reddick car. You could sit in it.
Oh, you could get in the car. Nice.
Yeah. That's all the pictures I got because my phone died halfway through. I do have a video of them going by from where we were sitting. So, like...
Oh, you had some damn good seats, too.
I mean, look at that. That's what made me happy.
That's
just a pile. And I was, like, telling my friend, I was like, dude, I'm waiting for a big one. I'm waiting for a big one. Because it was so close they were, and they were bumping and banging. I'm just like, yes.
You saw a lot of crashes, so...
Oh, yeah. especially the first crash with Joey Logano. That made me laugh. Not the people behind me. People behind me were upset.
That's funny.
And I was like,
What was I gonna ask you? How are the tents? Did you see them?
so the tents, yes. I saw there was one tent across the street. That's where I got this. Um, which was very funny because when I was trying to go into the track, the sensors were beeping, and they were trying to figure out what was beeping. And then I look, and I'm like, "It's that. All right." And I set it to the side. I walked through, and it was perfectly fine. I'm like, "Well, fun." Um, but I mean, still got in. We're good. Race was actually pretty decent. Um, I didn't like it the way it ended, but
We'll talk about
I
the race
mean,
a little bit later because I
yeah.
actually got to watch part of the truck race too. Most of the truck race actually, and the cup race, which was nice. So, I did it feel like I over exaggerated the tents a little bit? Did it seem
Oh
like there was?
no. At first, I thought you did because when I went across the street, I was like, "Oh, is this what he meant? I mean, this isn't nothing." And then all of a sudden, when I walked through near the territory, I'm just like, "Okay, he wasn't wrong."
Yeah, there's a lot of tents. So you said you didn't get any die casts.
I didn't, sadly,
What were the prices
because
looking like?
so one of the prices was 25, but I was trying to save and decide like, okay, maybe before the race, maybe I'll go over there if I didn't buy anything. But as you can tell, I
You just had
bought
this.
something that shouldn't be bought. But oh well. Um, there was a blue Pepsi Jeff Gordon car, and I wanted it so bad. It was only $25.
Oh come on, man, that's steal. You gotta
That
steal
was a
that.
steal, and I now regret it because it would have been in its box right there, and I know exactly where I was gonna put it. Ah, it would have been so good, right next to the Dale Juniors and the Lego 75 anniversary car. Ah,
The good news is they don't really sell out of product. There's a lot of stuff. I'm
they
assuming.
did
Oh,
actually have a um Dale Earnhardt diecast, and it was actually signed by Dale Earnhardt, but it was like $200.
yeah, not do that.
And I'm like, yeah, I only have $200 left. I don't think I can.
Be a nice
But I'm
prize
just,
to have, though, for sure. Um,
oh yeah, and just for fun, might as well just get the get get Shrek. All right, but
so what did you go to the haulers? I guess I assume you went to the haulers because that's where you got the poker chips.
oh yeah,
What were the haulers like compared to like what you maybe saw last year, the races?
um, so the haulers weren't bad. It's just like, so of course you have that dirt racer that came into the Cup Series for this one race. He had his own hauler. Like he had his plain own hauler, and I'm just
Huh.
like shocked. And I'm just looking over. I'm like, okay, sure. And then at first I'm like, because we were looking and we're like, who's driving the 13? Who's driving the 13? And the person in front of us was telling us it was Davenport, and I'm like, oh, so that's who he's driving. He's driving for colleague. Okay.
So he had
But
his
I
own
mean,
hauler. That's pretty crazy, actually. I'm
yeah,
surprised about that.
and it's
Um,
like it's cool. I love it.
did Kyle Busch still have his own hauler? I know he had one to the 18, but
No,
he did not. Ooh, interesting development there. Um,
yeah, because I got this Kyle Busch poker chip at the RCR hauler.
okay.
Same thing with where are you at? Or did I just get Kyle Busch? I think I just got Kyle Busch. There was no loss of Dillon. Oh well.
Did anybody have their own hauler besides That Davenport guy.
Chase Elliott.
Oh yeah,
Chase
I
Elliott.
forgot he still has his own hauler too.
That
Um,
was the only two that had their own.
did it
Chase
feel like
Elliott and
did it feel like there was like the same amount of trailers as like there was last year, or have they kind of like shrunken a little bit more? Because I know they've been on like a down decline.
we'll see. We'll see. I never got to see the Ford booth or the Chevy booth. Mostly because it was too far away from where I was. So I only got to see the Toyota. Um, they did have a simulator there, just it wasn't iRacing simulator.
Interesting, interesting.
It was Forza, which I'm okay with either or. But the race was good. I loved it.
So let me think of other things. Was there a lot of well, other than the shopping? Was there a lot of stuff to see or do? I know you said the simulator. Was like cars to look at. I know you saw the Tyler Reddick car. Did it seem like there was other like cars on display to look at or like things to do to get like people, or was it just buying stuff?
Well, they had, of course, they had the fan zone.
Right.
Um, and then they had a old car, not like trying to think what gen it was. Um, it was either 9 or 10, or no. There is no 10. Wait a minute. Let me look it up here. Hold on. NASCAR.
Take the time.
Meow. Um, I'm trying to find the. It's not the one with the fender. It's the wing.
The COT
But
car.
I think so. I think that was like the 2010, 12.
The wing would have been 07 ish through 20 like 10 ish. That's pretty cool. I don't remember the last time I saw one of them. Because I remember when we were there.
Yeah, it was the 2012 cars.
Oh, nice. So I remember when we were there, it was only like current cars, like to all next gen stuff. Well, there was in Fireball Roberts' car too, but and like some street
They
cars. But
Speaking of which, they had that one my friends got. He got the silver bullet Sterling Marlin diecast that was signed by Sterling Marlin. So it's
wow,
like he wanted that, and then one of his friends got. I think it was the Dale Jr. win at Daytona the year or the race after when they went back to Daytona after Dale Earnhardt's death.
ooh, like a race version of that. Damn, that's good shit too.
And it's like, because right next to it was Michael Waltrip's, and I'm like, what about both of those? Just
With it,
because it's a 1-2.
they both raced versions too. Damn.
I think they were race versions, yeah, and I'm just like, this guy's finding everything, like, off the bat.
I know you wanted to find a Michael Waltrip one.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you find that there was a good selection of different drivers, or was it all mostly uh, just like Dale Jr. and Jeff Gordon, or is it like more?
I mean, there was a whole box one that was just full of Jeff Gordon. Like, there was no other car in that box, and I'm like, this is heaven. I want all of it. But I hesitated. But there was, I think, one of them that had, like, on one side you had old Hendrick drivers, and then on one side you had Earnhardt Ganassi or just Earnhardt Incorporated. So I mean, like they had just different ones that you could do,
Okay.
which I mean is cool.
Let me think of some other questions. I can't really think of much.
Oh,
Oh, how was the how's the vlog experience? Were you able to get any vlog footage?
I could not. Actually, my entire thing broke
Oh, how
on the trip
unfortunate.
there. So I got my stuff in there and all set. And then right when I was trying to do the video, it wasn't turning on. And I'm like, I charged it before I got here. What's wrong with it? And then I tried turning it on again. It would turn on for just a second and then turn off. And I'm just like, oh shit. Okay, I guess I'm not doing this, but I'm going to the Bristol cement, so trust me, I will have a video up for that. For sure.
You should probably attempt to vlog Michigan too if you're going to that. I don't know if you
Oh yeah,
ever
I'm
are.
definitely going to Michigan.
So that's weird. Yeah,
I
I
might
guess
get a new.
way to do it, I guess, would be bring a charger with you or like charge in the car or a hotel room or whatever,
Yeah,
too, just so you're ready to go. But that just seems like a weird occurrence if you prepared and didn't work. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, that's okay. You preserved your experience in pictures and
people
poker
were
chips.
people were surprised when I told them that I came all the way down from Michigan. They were like, "You're all the way from Michigan?" I'm like, "Yeah." Surprisingly.
um, that's pretty cool though. Must be don't get a lot of out of towners. You know, a lot of Tennessee, Virginia esque people there.
Yeah, I mean, I told my friends, I go, who wants to imagine that after this race they're going straight to Martinsville? I mean,
I'm sure some of them probably were. I'm
yeah,
sure some of the fans were. They probably do Richmond, Bristol, and Martinsville. It's probably their three tracks they do a year. Um, so it's like back to back to back to back stuff. But and then so I guess to conclude your experience, also your first non-Michigan experience. What do you think of it compared to
Michigan.
Michigan?
Compare it to Michigan. It's I'd rather have Bristol dirt be more because I heard that they were going to probably take away Bristol dirt because they don't think that there was a lot of competition and stuff and all that. And I really hope they don't put it off the schedule just because this is one of the most funner things I've done that's not at Michigan because Michigan's just straight circle. I mean, you don't pass unless you're having a caution flag or your car's fast enough, and it's just like Bristol. There's passing everywhere. Even if you're getting lapped, if you're not getting lapped.
Right. It's definitely a much different experience. For sure. How was it for being an out of state experience? What was your first experience out of the state of Michigan? When
It was good. When we were going by Cincinnati, um, I pointed over at the Bengals arena. I was like, "Hey, look, those are where players lose their careers." And then everyone just started laughing, and I'm just like, "Yeah, pretty much. That's what it does." Um, and then we went by on our way back. We went by Ohio State University,
oh, that's cool. At the
um,
middle of the night.
the shit shoe, but
So
it
that's
was
cool.
cool seeing a lot out there. I mean, Tennessee, I tell you, I was just talking to my friend earlier, and I said I'm gonna have to move to Tennessee because Tennessee is beautiful.
It's a very beautiful state.
I love it.
you ever visit the University of Tennessee, it's a very beautiful place. I'm sure Nashville is too. I've never been there, but um, yeah, but it's very gorgeous. Cool place to live.
Oh yeah.
So, going to Bristol. I know you said you want to go to the concrete race in September now. Um, do you have any other motivations now to go to any other different tracks now that you've been to one other than Michigan?
Um, one track I really want to go to. We were talking about this too. Is we want to try going to North Wilkesboro
Hmm.
because I can remember my dad went there when he was young. So since it's coming back, why not?
I think it'd be a cool experience to go see North Wilkesboro again. Um,
Uh,
well,
we want to go see Texas, even though Texas is very boring and sad.
it's still probably
But
a pretty impressive facility to go see in person, but as far as race product goes, probably not your best option. I was talking about this with my dad the other night. I really want to go see Martinsville, Darlington, or Talladega next. I feel like those three have very similar vibes to them as Bristol. They're all in very small towns, but very have very deep NASCAR roots. And they all are very historic tracks with their own historic excitements. So, and Martinsville's not too far away. The other two are pretty far away, but Martinsville is not super far away. So, that would be cool.
I know the one place I want to go to is Indy.
If I'm going back to Indy, I'm going to see the Indy 500. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. I don't want to go back for a NASCAR race. It's pretty boring for a NASCAR race, but for the Indy 500, I'm sure it's incredible. Um, but another impressive facility, nonetheless. Oh, I forgot, how's the weather? Because I was watching the truck race. Looked like people were freezing their ass off, and then
So it was a little bit breezy. I mean, I wore shorts in the whole entire race,
right,
and I just wore my jacket. I think it was about into stage two is when it started getting colder and all that. So I just put on my jacket and I just said, you know what, this is how I'm going to do it, and I liked it every bit of it. It was except all the dirt that would get in my face.
were you getting dirt in the face? I was about to ask that too because I know it
Yeah,
was.
I had to throw away my nachos because I forgot to shut my nachos when the dirt came up. So it got all over my nachos.
That's unfortunate.
I was sad.
I was thinking that because it seems like the first few rows around the track are blocked off for the dirt race. I mean,
Yeah.
it must be because of flying dirt.
Yeah.
And that's
I
getting
do, by the way, in one of these next podcasts, I will have a special thing from the track. I mean, it's that tiny, but it's something special. I just have to
okay.
get it because I forgot to bring it with me.
Okay, we'll be
So,
waiting. But yeah. Unless you got any, we'll talk. We guess I gotta talk about the races. But if you got any other experience thoughts, um,
this place is better than Michigan. I'm
I
sorry,
would
people
agree.
that
I,
like
I have to.
Michigan International Speedway, but that place is better than Michigan. When it
I
says
mean,
it's the last great Coliseum, they ain't shitting. It's the last great Coliseum.
I have to agree. Um, but okay. Anyway, let's talk about these actual races. Start with the trucks. I don't know if you actually got the opportunity to watch any of the truck race. I got to watch about half of it.
I
But
watched some of it.
Joey Logano ran away with the race, dominated it. He did no real competition for the win at all. Other than that, I thought there was a lot of good passing and good back and forth action with the rest of the field. And we saw some good spins, some crashes. So overall, a pretty good racing product outside of just Logano running away with the race. Brought up the controversy of bushwhacking again. Logano kind of smoked the rest of the field. Also saw William Byron, who ran the race, running up front too, beating out a lot of the regular truck guys. And I was kind of, I don't think Logano needed to run the race, but he did, and won it. He was in the same equipment as the rest of them, so, and he is a former dirt race winner, so got that unlocked as well. But overall, I thought it was an okay race. It was definitely not the most competitive for the win, but some other good action regardless than that. You got any other thoughts to put in on that one?
I only saw half of it. So, hoping that I wouldn't see Joey Logano win, but I guess that's...
Then the cup race came around. I got to see pretty much all of this one. But so I will mention, this was a lot like the truck race. There's a lot of passing, and there's a lot of spins and crashes, but there's also a lot of competitiveness for the lead. Kyle Larson, pole sitter, seemingly was running away with the race in the first stage. Then he got back in traffic, and his race went to shit fast. Got spun a couple times, got in a bunch of incidents, ended up finishing 35th, not even finishing the race, finishing 35th. Logano, the winner of the truck race, spun out early, got into an accident, never really recovered, finished dead last in 37th, which was very uncharacteristic for him. But this race also featured a lot of other come-and-goers. Like I said, Larson, Kyle Busch was up front much of the early portion of the race. But he ended up finishing 32nd after some issues. We saw Bubba Wallace even run up front for a little bit. He finished middle of the pack. Tyler Reddick came up later in the race and ended up finishing second. Of course, the winner, Christopher Bell, coming out of nowhere and really taking that race home at the end. So a lot of good coming and going in that aspect as well. So
I was going to say, Justin Haley finished 6th. Haley did actually very good.
That is good. What else? Let me check my notes. I closed my notes. So Matt Crafton also ran the cup race. He did double duty this weekend. He subbed in for Cody Ware. We'll get to the reason why that is. That came out today. So we'll get to that for a minute. How was the choose drone? That was a pretty weird thing that they implemented.
It was odd. It kind of was okay and cool because every single stage, so like when the final stage happened and they were coming up to the final couple laps, I was like, okay, what side is this man going to take? Is he going to take the high line or the low line? This is huge. And it's like, it's a cool thing that they decided to put in. I hope they do it forever.
Understand because you can't really put in a choose going in the dirt because then they'll get fucked up. But it was just a little weird thing. But one of the things that really pissed me, there were two things that really pissed me off. One's a pretty small one. One's not so small. So on the second McDowell spin and save, the second one, they were showing the race when it happened, and the Fox guys just start going crazy because it's happening and they're watching it. Meanwhile, the cameras are focusing on Tyler Reddick, just not doing anything important. Did not even cut over to it at all. They only showed replays, and that really pissed me off.
Which one?
The second one.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one was the inconsistency on caution calls. See, there were so many points during this race where, and you see this, I guess, in a little bit in the road courses, but they're more consistent in the road courses than here. Like, somebody would spin, throw a caution, okay, cool. Next restart, somebody spins, they don't throw a caution. Okay, why? Like, how come when Ryan Blaney spins in the middle of the pack, no caution is thrown, but when Kyle Busch is spinning onto pit road, not hitting anybody, you throw a caution flag? Like, what is the... Why? Just make up your freaking mind here, people. It doesn't make any sense to me why that would be. But some other drivers didn't have a great day. Brad Keselowski had a horrible day. Denny Hamlin didn't really have that great of one either. And really none of the other Hendrick cars besides Kyle Larson had really anything to show for the day. Especially Josh Berry, who had a pretty awful run coming off of his second place finish at Richmond. The Trackhouse cars were getting fucked the entire day, especially Daniel Suarez. I kind of felt bad for him getting caught up in all those wrecks. So did Chastain. Austin Dillon had a pretty good run as well. Like I said, Justin Haley. Kevin Harvick in his final Bristol Dirt start probably did not really have anything to show for it. Ryan Preece looked like he was going to be an underdog contender for the win. Ended up getting caught up in a crash or a couple. Not really becoming a factor after that. And then the winner went to Christopher Bell. But really after Larson lost the lead, that's when things really started to get competitive, and that made it a really fun race to watch. And then the fucking bullshit finish with, it was that was going to be setting up to be an incredible finish, I think Reddick was going to send it into turn 3, probably hit Bell, and they were going to be bumping and bang into the checkered flag because Reddick was gaining on Bell. And then, of course, another Trackhouse caution, like the 60th one that day, brings the caution out on the final lap and stops the whole thing. And Bell gets the win. But Bell's the 13th driver to be locked into the New Year's Eve Spectacular now. That's pretty good. That's good. Reddick was already locked in, so I didn't really want him to win. I wanted Bell to win over Reddick. So he's the 13th driver locked in. And I've been reading a lot of news articles that there's already, it's like winner number 7 already. And that could mean that there could be more than 16 winners, and so a winner may not even make the playoffs. They've been talking a lot about that, kind of like they were near the end of last regular season, because we got close to that 16 win mark, but didn't quite get there. But it's looking like that could be a possibility this year with all the variations of winners. We'll see about that. But how was the racing from your perspective as an in-person fan?
I loved it. Even, to be honest, I didn't even watch the front of the field because there was no interesting thing at the front. Like you said, Kyle Larson was just dominating the race, and I was just looking at the back, watching the back battle, waiting for a wreck, and I'm just like, this is the best battles I've ever seen. But then again, you see them just bumping into each other and almost crashing each other, and you're like, please.
How was actually I also forgot to ask, how was like the crowd reactions? Was it a large turnout? It didn't look like there was a lot of people there.
It was not. I did not expect that, actually. From what I saw, like, outside the track, it was like there was a lot of people. But then, looking at it again, I was like, why is there not a lot of people here? I mean, it's just shocking.
I mean, the weather wasn't great, and it's Easter weekend, so I can kind of see it. But for Bristol, they usually turn out.
And the fan reactions. like I said, when Bubba Wallace came out, I told my friends, I was like, hey, just listen. Because there's two people that didn't even know about NASCAR, and I said, just listen. And then when they said his name, everyone started booing, and I was like, now that's how you know it's Tennessee.
Yeah, I remember the two people that got booed the most were Bubba Wallace and Kyle Busch. I don't know how the Kyle Busch reactions may have changed with his move to RCR, but
I mean, he didn't get booed that much that I was surprised about that, actually. Because, he's famous for being roasted by Brad Keselowski at Bristol. So, I mean,
Kyle Busch is an ass.
in his basic Michigan voice.
Did really was it like a very rowdy crowd? I mean, I guess with the cars kind of drowns out the crowd, but was there any like special fan moments or whatnot, or is like
So, I feel like what Bristol needs to not do is do a selfie cam because you could probably already think what happened. Um, there was a lot of weird things that happened on the
there we
big
go,
screen.
here we go,
There was
spill it.
one that was very odd, and they had to immediately cut it off to the next person.
Let me
Because,
guess, the lady flashed the camera.
yes.
That sounds like a drunk Southern person right there.
And I go to my friends, I go like, huh. I knew this was NASCAR and I knew this was called Rednecks, but I didn't expect this.
Like I'll tell you, Bristol's a whole different animal with that. That's pretty fun. That's pretty funny though. As soon as you said selfie cam, I'm thinking, yeah, he probably saw some tits, and you did. um,
Traumatizing, actually. They weren't even young women's.
oh, how about you? Okay, TMI, TMI, TMI. Holy shit. Oh my. All right, back on track. Did anybody else get like booed out of the building or like even close? That maybe was kind of unexpected.
There was some booze to Kyle Larson. Trying to think. Not any other I can think of in the top of my head. Um, I just know Bubba Wallace got booed, and that was it.
It's to be expected. What was the crowd reactions? Was there any like big crowd reactions to like spins or crashes or anything like
Not
that?
re- Not really. I mean, when they had to do a restart for one to go or for one more time, everyone was like getting all excited and everyone was on their feet and cheering and all that. But like, I mean, it was just huge, and it's too hard to look around and see what was going on because it was like, I'm looking at the race and then I have to like look around to see what's going on, and it's like it was cool. That's all I gotta say. It was cool, and I mean I know Joey Logano got booed.
Well, he always gets booed, so not a huge
Then I
surprise there.
think Hamlin got booed a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hamlin got booed either. Actually, um, well, cool. Unless you got any other lasting like thoughts or if you saw anybody famous or besides Ryan Priest at least. Um,
Saw Kyle Larson.
oh, that's pretty cool.
So I mean, but other than that, I mean, so I saw Tim Tebow walk by.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What the fuck was Tim Tebow there?
I think he was being a part of the pre-show. I
Must
think
have
it
been.
was.
Yeah, that would sound pretty right, about right.
So
All right. Well, if you don't got any lasting thoughts, then I'll say I thought this was a really good Bristol dirt race. Best one so far. It wasn't perfect. Of course, the caution inconsistency was the big thing here. But I think other than that, it was a really, really good race. There's two short tracks so far this season. I know they're completely different, but they've both been really good. And that's been a really welcome change this season compared to last. So if they are going away with Bristol Dirt, I wouldn't be too mad about it. But if they keep putting out a product like this, then I think they'll see a higher turnout and better viewership and also better likability. So I think that'll be good. But a good one other than that. So that's it for Bristol Dirt. Like I said, we're doing this the Monday instead of Thursday, so there isn't much news. There's two that I had, though. One's a pretty small one. I read it yesterday. Cale Yarborough is in very poor health, and thoughts and prayers are welcomed, is what was said by the family. Really wasn't much else there. He is pretty old, so it would he's still alive as far as I know, but he is not in great health apparently.
So I do have some news about Cody Ware. If you were about to talk about that,
I think we're moving on to that. You could say it though.
They have indefinitely suspended Cody Ware. Let me see here. Monday on charges of assault on a female. Assault by strangulation inflicts serious injury. So they indefinite suspension.
Yep. Uh, he originally cited his being away from Bristol Dirt as a personal matter. Well, his personal matter is he assaulted a woman and therefore got arrested for it and now suspended indefinitely. So that is funny. Couldn't have happened to a classier race team, I'll tell you that. But yeah, that's pretty wild. It's been a while since we've had like this kind of a situation. I think since the last one was Travis Quapple when this happened. I think that was over 10 years ago now that happened. So, I mean, I guess all I know Cody Ware for is being like a backmarker driver, and not really much more than that. But I guess now more stuff about his personal life will come out about that. So this is history of having to do this.
Before we go into Martinsville, two things happened. One that happened 58 minutes ago. One that happened yesterday.
Okay.
The one that happened yesterday, Tony Stewart is in the NASCAR 75 greatest drivers. He is a part of it. And now, 8 minutes ago, the newest member of the NASCAR 75 greatest drivers list, Casey Kane, has officially been a part.
Kane. Oh, what a guy. Well deserving. We'll probably end up going over the entire list once it's all revealed. Which could be a while because they're going to do the season wide, but that's pretty cool stuff. So, speaking of Tony Stewart, he during the broadcast yesterday, they announced during the Cup race broadcast, they announced that Bobby Labonte will be in the booth for Martinsville, and Tony Stewart will be back in the booth for Talladega. So. They announced that as well. And then the only other news, they announced some street closures for the Chicago Street Course race because like we always say, can't be a podcast episode without any news about the Chicago Street Course. They announced some road closures that are going to be happening. They detailed a huge traffic plan. It's going to be over a month of closures all over the city. It is not. Yeah, starting about June 2nd and going all the way until July 14th and 15th. That's how long this stuff's going to be closed for the race that's happening over July 4th weekend. That's pretty crazy. Chicago's a very busy city. These road closures are probably going to make traffic that's already bad in Chicago and a regular given basis even worse. So there's a lot of controversy about this. I wonder if NASCAR executives are not happy about what buzz this is bringing, but that's pretty big stuff there too. So that's all I had for news. I know you've been busy this weekend with the race. I don't know if you heard anything about Corgan Oil though.
I can look on their Facebook. I was just on Facebook. I can look real quick. Two new things popped up for this, so happy Easter and all that. Okay, well, nothing really happened. Other than people or them saying that they have quarter midgets for sale. Other than that,
Should buy one. We'll take it around the town. Don't do
yeah,
that.
me not fitting in it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't either. Novelty concept. But other than that, oh no, I had one more piece of news that just came up. Actually, no, that I had put up this morning. So Jonathan Schaefer will be making his Truck Series debut in the On Point Motorsports 30 truck this weekend in Martinsville. Forgot about that, but yep, making his debut. So that's pretty cool. Apparently, his debut into NASCAR has been very long awaited. According to J-Ski's silly site, whatever. That's where I get a lot of obscure news from. So anyway, now that's everything. Unless you had any other news pieces you wanted to
No, I don't see anything right now.
Okay. It's now time to preview another short track race. 3 in a row. Martinsville. I think all 4 series are racing. Xfinity is back. The trucks are racing. So, yep, all 3 series are back in action this weekend. With the truck race being a night race, Xfinity race also being a night race, the Cup race is a late afternoon race. So, we'll start with the truck series. Of course, I got a new debuter. But who do we think will be taking home the checkered flag this Friday?
I'm gonna go with Zane Smith.
I'm going to go with Zane Smith. Not a bad pick. I'm going to go out on a limb and pick Ty Majeski. Here's why. He actually was the only driver, same team as Logano at the dirt race, who could even contend with Logano. And I think that momentum is going to carry over into a great run at Martinsville. I believe it. I think he's going to win the race. So. And then in the Xfinity series, who do we think? Who do we think will be getting the W?
I think it'll be Austin Hill.
Austin Hill. Okay. Who do I think it's going to be? I'm going to pick Justin Allgaier. Justin Allgaier, I think, is going to win the race. That one. And then move on to the Cup race.
I just realized something. For the Cup race, if you've realized, when the last final laps were for the Bristol Dirt Race, the first, second, and third place drivers were the previous 2 winners. Well, 3 if you count Christopher Bell. Reddick, Larson, Bell. Unless... No, wait, Briscoe was there. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Larson finished 35th. So,
yeah.
Unfortunate for that proposition. But anyway, who do we think is going to win the NOCO? Fuck is this called? NOCO 400? The fuck? We got NOCO 400. Call 811.com before you dig 250. Try saying that 5 times fast. And then the Long John Silver's 200. What 3 very out there and different names for this Martinsville weekend.
First, let's go with you, because I'm doing...
You're doing the hat. Now, Martinsville's tricky. This is, I think, going to be the real test for this new short track package. Because Martinsville, I believe, was the track that was the most affected by the next gen car last season, as far as the short tracks went. A lot of people complained about just conveyor belt, boring racing, especially at Martinsville. A track that's usually, a one groove track, whereas Richmond and Bristol are more multi-groove racetracks for short track racing. So like I said, we've seen good stuff out of Richmond and Bristol so far, though it was the dirt race for Bristol, so I guess we can't really determine that until September, but, we can say fine for now. So Martinsville is really going to be the best determination. And I think Bristol Dirt was an outlier for good racing, for like who's the really best driver. But maybe not. We'll see. But I'm going to give this one probably to... I don't know. Who's the guy that's got the short track racing curse? Is it Martin Truex? Or has he never won a super speedway? I think he's never won a super speedway. I think he's won. No, he's won at Martinsville before. All right, then I'm gonna have to give this one to. Shit, this is a tough pick.
I mean, I could always do your pick for this in the hat.
Could.
We could do that for Cup Series. Just.
How about we do that?
Cup Series.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right, shake it up.
Making the loud noise. It's happening. All right. Looking through. So we got Cindric, which doesn't seem like a bad choice for that.
Guess not.
So you got either Cindric, you'll get 2 choices, and then you get to choose from those 2.
Okay.
Just so that you have a fair. You see, all right. So you have Cindric or Harrison Burton.
I'll take Austin Cindric, please.
All righty. So we'll just put Harrison Burton to the back in the hat. So just all right.
All right, Hitmaster's turn. Let's see.
All right, I'm gonna keep shaking it while I do this. Ooh, Martin Truex.
Oh, you get a good one. Get a good pick.
Been here.
Yeah, you bought him. It's probably rigged. And then Bubba Wallace. Well, at least you make the choice easy.
You think, but I'm gonna go off with a limb here. I'm choosing Bubba Wallace.
Oh, we're fucked for this week.
I have to.
How many of those poker chips did you get? I want to know.
17.
17 different poker chips. So not a massive selection, but good enough.
Well, see, what I'm gonna do for this legacy one is a free pick.
Okay.
So whoever gets this out of all of these, you get to choose which one. I mean, there's a Kyle Larson in here, so I mean, you get a
Well,
free pick. You get Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, William Byron,
let's get some
Magic
good picks.
boys. So Cindric and
Oh,
Bubba.
boy, what some picks. But should be a good race weekend, I think. I have some high hopes. So, but anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of the Talkin' NASCAR podcast. Great stuff from Bristol for Hitmaster. Next week we'll recap Martinsville, preview the big race, Talladega, and hopefully there'll be a lot of news stuff that came from both this week and next week because of overflow, because we recorded this episode earlier than normal, so that'll be good. And whatever Hitmaster's bringing on, he needs to grab still. We'll see what it all is about. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Goodbye.